So just want to do a real quick intro of myself. I kind of have a unique history. Started off project management in video games, working on World of Warcraft, went to military defense contracting, making soldier system, weapon sites, commercial real estate, and now I'm in the accounting advisory and insurance world. One thing that I've found with all of that experience and tools that I've implemented across my almost 18 years of project management is Copilot is one of the most robust tools that helps evolve how we function as a business that I've put into place. But before I get into how much I love the tool, I want to talk about some of the immediate challenges that we faced when going about putting this tool into place. We started off with about a 50-person pilot, and I did the training myself, developed the materials, so on and so forth. As we started to look at expanding this to more people, that scale of rollout became a true impediment. I'm not able to continually train hundreds of people up to our 1,300 person company. That's not something I had time to do amid the myriad of other initiatives that I had going on. And that's where Reply came in clutch. Partnering with them on the training materials, they presented a really great series of, in this application, we teach you how to use it this way, and it's really beneficial. And we've had, in some of our trainings, up to 540 people attend in a single training, which was fantastic. Adoption rate was another concern because, as my next point is going to be, the cost of Copilot is not insignificant. So we want to make sure that people are using it. They're using it regularly, that they're getting good value and benefit out of it. And that was another area where Reply was very much instrumental in how we did that. Currently, we have all 1,300 of this licensed, and we're at around a 78% adoption rate. So there's still some people that we're looking to try and get into using it in the first place. But overall, it's a pretty successful number because we're at right around 1,000 of our 1,300 people. But again, it's important that we maintain the understanding that this is not a cheap tool. This is one that requires significant buy-in from your leadership, significant buy-in for pretty much everybody to make sure that you're getting the actual ROI that you need on this tool. And what helps support us, in addition to Reply and their training, they're educating us on how to be better partners and giving us good guidelines on how to ensure the adoption rate was high, is one thing that I've noticed for our company was passivity is your enemy. If you're not active about this, you're gonna have problems, which means getting the right engagement from the right stakeholders. We had our CEO and COO both talk about it in our town halls, send emails. We had our directors of the different partner groups and different areas of expertise all send emails and please go to these trainings, please be engaged, here's some great user things. And then we worked through each group to define champions, as Annie mentioned earlier, to create new prompts. Because I'm IT, I don't know the business side as well as they do. I can't help them create cool prompts. I can be like, here's how you summarize meetings. It's, while helpful, it's not what they're really looking for, because everybody in those practice groups wants that individual, here's how this will make my job easier beyond just the operational things of meetings and so on. So those champions are extremely helpful in that area. And to quickly touch on what Naeem was talking about is we started with a small group as we were implementing Purview to help us make sure that we had good security controls around this. And we're doing this in a safe way. We're also working on improving our data hygiene, because one thing you're going to come into awareness of, if the data is bad, Copilot's useless. It goes off the data that you have. So you need to have good quality data hygiene. You need to make sure that you have good data in, makes good data out. And then to touch on Bill's part, as far as agents and our development therein, we're still kind of in the early inception of that, but we're trying to build a robust process around that. Right now we have 7 agents that are live in our company. We have about 6 more in flight, but the important part of that is you need to make sure that you have an appropriate intake for this. It should be separate from your project intake because those are 2 totally different things. A lot of times agents are quick, fast development, quick turnaround, maybe even same day, assuming that you've done something similar before. So it's important to make sure you have a good intake on this. We have a role at BPM called the Business Relationship Manager. It's basically a business analyst where they go out into the ether, work with business stakeholders, shadow them, literally watch how they do things, and create a list of opportunities for us to be able to proactively improve the lives of people out there through automations, agents, however we're looking to do that. It is very important that you build good guidelines and policies. Touching on many of what everybody else has said, this is one of those things that if you just go with the Wild West and let people do what they want, it can be detrimental, because certain accesses and certain things that creators have and implement, and if they make dashboards or reporting and stuff and all that gets out, it could be challenging for you to kind of claw back that information. Another big thing that was really beneficial for us is build good, easily accessible libraries. Copilot innately has good libraries, but we also built a SharePoint site to make it easy for people to search for various different things, for prompts, for agents, so on and so forth. Having these easily accessible that the champions can also help update as you're going along makes a very big difference. And then the last thing about agents is we want to make sure that we have a good lift and shift framework. We want to build it modular so that we can do agile, quick development products to fire out as many agents as we can. And that's what we're building the framework for now. Everything that we do has good comments, has good information, has good ways to reuse these things so that we can have that product development happen very quickly in an agile methodology. Because as everybody stated, this stuff will change the scope of how you function very, very quickly. And it's important to be able to be on top of that. One last thing I'm going to throw in there. I know I've kind of gone on a little bit. If you haven't played with Copilot Analyst and Researcher, they are, to use a highly technical term, bonkers. Absolutely amazing outputs, very in-depth understanding of different topics with Researcher. Analyst is fantastic at evaluating numerous different documents in great ways. So yeah, just wanted to throw out a little bit of my experience, some of the pitfalls to watch out for, some of the important things to keep in mind if you're looking at implementing this. But I will say it has been incredibly revolutionary for our efficiency, for our revenue generation, for any number of areas where it's been utterly amazing. So I'm going to hand it back to Andrew. Thank you all for joining and listening to my ramblings.